she says, when can I talk?
No, go for it.
Okay. First of all, she said, I kind of got a lot of flack for my decision not to have any kind of formal goodbyes, any kind of ceremonies, any kind of memorial. She said, in some ways, I regret it because I realized how selfish that was. She said, I realized that it wasn't about just about me, but it was about everybody else that I knew, everybody else that I had had experience was with, who wanted to be able to say goodbye to me because I was so quiet about my disease and what I was going through. And she said, when you know me, I didn't want that to interfere with my work, and I lost an opportunity. She said, I lost the opportunity to share with people what my interaction with spirit was like towards towards the end, but also when I first found out at the beginning, and how to manage my own emotions, my feelings, my prayer work, my healing, and calling on spirit as well as physical people who could heal to help me. She said, but I had this recognition within myself that my time was coming to an end, and I wanted to make peace with it. And I wanted to make peace with it in such a way that I didn't drag anybody else down in a world that is so difficult right now and so challenging. But she's saying, I missed the opportunity and I want to apologize because I realized how hungry people were to say goodbye, to say things about me. And so when you took that time after my passing to let people speak, I finally got this message. So yeah, you can teach old dogs new tricks from this side. And she said, Inga, when you talk about communication and using the WhatsApp and all that stuff, she goes, that's all well and good, and I think it's very thrilling because we're trying to bring evidential information into this realm. She said, but from where I am now with the amount of incredible mediums that I am privy to, she said, the experience of direct connection without an intermediary force like a phone or a computer can't be missed because the energy is everything. And she said, the energy I'm having right now coming through Jeannie with everybody focusing to say, oh, is Jeannie really any good? Let's see what she's got up her sleeve. Is she really going to be able to trans to everybody else? And she said, absolutely, even if it's in her own way without coming through completely and taking over. But I understand her reasons for not doing that, especially in a large group situation. She said, but I have messages for all of you. It's going to be a little universal message because I can't possibly go to every single one of you, and I wish I had time because I know so many of you and have for some of you for quite some time. She said, I know that things are intense in your world. And she said, it's your world now, even though I can touch in on it, but it's really yours. Bye bye. She said, but I have this message of hope and truth, which I hope you really can carry in your heart. When Regina was doing the beat of the Mother Earth, I was hoping she would because it's in our hearts that we find our strength. It's in our hearts that we find our wisdom. It's in our heart where we find the truth of our own reality and why we are here. And she says, I knew so much of why I was here. Some of it was still unlearned. Some of it was still hidden. Some of it was heartbreaking. But I'm the truth will out kind of personality that I will find it regardless. And I'll keep moving forward until it presents itself. And she said, you guys know that about me. She said, if I could, I would still co-host the program through each medium every week. But that's something I have to let go of. And she said, but the message is here of the heart space is more than I can even translate with words. She said, when everybody's experience when they first come over can be slightly different. My experience had several levels to it very quickly. I went from one step to the other, just to acclimate being out of my body and getting used to not having the body being such an invalid and not having all the chaos of the disease working in and through me so that I could go back to a sense of freedom, as you've been speaking of right now. Um, when I got to this third step, so to speak, and that's just temporary right now, suddenly I had a view I'd never had before. And I felt like the great prophets as they stood on the mountaintop and could see over everywhere and see everything. They could see the chaos in one space. They could see the beauty in another space. They could see the angels in another place. I'm having, she says, and we're so one right now, this experience of humanity that is married to the realm of love and the angelic presence, and beyond that there is a marriage here, but we don't see it because we have so been in consensus with separation. She is so filled with the desire now to share the story that there is no separation, that it's more than illusion, it's this propaganda, it's this script written in our DNA for so many of our lifetimes that we need to be able to remove and not foster that kind of division any longer, because that division is what creates the division in our realm, that seeming separation from our mother, or the or mother earth, or for the angelic realm, or for the great beyond, or the greater reality, or for the aliens, or whatever you want to speak to. They're all right here. They're all right here, just walking where you walk. A little different vibration, but we're all here. Next door, across the street, up the block. We're all right here. And the communication is literally right here. It's a matter of developing our listening skills, our willingness to not be afraid of hearing directly. There's so every single one of you on this group, and more that I know of, you can hear your spirits. You can hear those whom you love who are on the other side. Some of you are very afraid of it and go through great lengths to have it come through somebody else. Oh, I'd rather the medium tell me, or my friend down the street that studied this is more adept than I am. Hogwash, it's right here. There's no separation except what we have purchased and bought into. And what I'm feeling from her when she's bouncing up and down with, because she's very energetic, is the amazement that we have been in this veil of darkness for so long, and that we haven't been able to break through this veil and open the doors and the windows and the curtains to the light, which is literally standing next to us. And she is going to be, it's about promise not to be too obnoxious, but I might be a little obnoxious with some of you because we've been together so long. Because whether you want it or not, I'm going to be a broken record. I'm going to say even more than I said when I was in a physical body. To push the envelope with the people who can make a difference, which is all of you. Because when you know that to your very core, and you understand there's no separation, and you pull all the windows open, all the doorways open, and you just listen and practice that, you carry that knowledge. That's a breakthrough for you, and you carry that. And when you carry that, everybody that you come in contact gets a piece of that awareness and that awakening, whether you ever speak to that truth or not. She said, I cannot tell you how I have shifted in the few short weeks that I have been gone. I have gone far beyond anything I thought I was capable of, even with all the knowledge I've had and experiences that I've had, and sharing with all of you and all the work that has come through. I cannot tell you how incredible it is when you are no longer in that veil of separation. That's the wholeness. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're all of a sudden in this incredible awakened space 24/7. It's that the veil is gone so that you can reach into the library, which is right in front of you, and feed off of the knowledge and the understanding and the experiences and the greatness and the love that's here. and just bring it in and be that beacon within yourself. You can feel her intensity, her divinity in this moment. And I'm feeling from her too. She said, I never realized as much as I spoke about light and spirituality and consciousness, there is this divinity. She says that's the only way I can explain it to you is there's this divinity, this hallowed, holy space. And I have never experienced it like this until I left my body. She said, I'm sad I had to leave my body to have this experience, but I'm so grateful that I allowed myself to be taken into this place that I could find myself in this awareness with these beautiful people around me, these spirits, these beings, friends, family, unknowns. If you take anything from this time, think of me when you really need to remember that we're all right here and that the separation it's a lie, it's an illusion, it is not the truth. We are right here and we can be as expanded and then be in this beautiful frequency right next door to you, in your front door, in your backyard, in your car. She said, I love you all. I love you more than you can imagine. And I'm so grateful that I was privileged enough to meet all of you, one way or the other. And I will promise you that I will continue to do the work that I was doing, but it will be even that much more joyful because the separation is gone, the veil is gone. And that would be my wish for every single one of you today.